How's it going, everyone? Tim here, TRD Adventures, as always. Hope everyone's all well, and thank you for tuning in. Celebrated yesterday. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, and if you've been out or needing parts for builds, I hope you've been able to get in on some of these Black Friday deals that have started Thursday and looks like to be running through the weekend or into the month. There are plenty of great deals out there across the board through a lot of companies, and we'll be going over some of that tonight. If you are free and have some time available, about 7 o'clock Central, we'll be going live for our Friday night live stream. And we have plenty to talk about, plenty to build and go over. We have lots of stuff that has arrived and should be arriving today by the time I get off work. So should have a pretty good live stream tonight. But in the meantime, finally, quick little overall breakdown video on my 1.9 Wraith I just finished up not that long ago. Seen it a few times on live streams, saw me finish up the body and stuff like that, and taking it a few times, just been having an absolute blast with it. So real quick, overall, what all we got going. I mean, it is for the most part basically a 1.9 Wraith. Now the reason is, like I said, heard me mention in other videos, just kind of have a soft spot for the race. 2.2 Wraiths, the 1.9 race. I've wanted to do a 1.9 Wraith for quite some time. Came down to kind of looking at it, and then I started looking, the new prices, they're still reasonable. $330 for the RTR 1.9 Wraith. But when I look at that, and I'm like, there's things I'm going to change off again in RTR. It's just the way I do builds and the way I handle RTR trucks. Wheels and tires almost always get changed. Electronics, servo, ESC, motor, changed. Shocks, I'll change them out. The stock 1.9 Wraith comes with plastic links. I would change those out to metal at some point in time. So then I started thinking and doing the math. Well, that stuff I'm already going to upgrade anyway. So we'll just take that, and a lot of the stuff I did already have. We just kind of take that price and part of the build equation, and we set it there. So then just kind of do the math on the rest of it. Picking up 1.9 Wraith chassis, then pick up a Wraith cage, pick up a clear body, and a few other little odds and ends there. And it was like, I was about maybe $120 in. I was like, you know what? We're just going to build it from scratch. So that's what we did. We ordered the 1.9 Wraith chassis. Local friend of mine had a Wraith cage that he was no longer using, so I picked that up from him. Then we picked up the Team KNK bolt kit for the 1.9 Wraith, which had everything I could need. That made it super convenient. So I already had all the bolts. They were already nice, high quality bolts. So great start there. And the price, I think, was like $30. So I knew I wasn't going to be missing any bolts, especially building from scratch, because sometimes you can take a bolt out, a bolt goes back there, but might be a couple sections like, what all goes here, or what sizes go here. Well, that had everything I needed. Exterior wise here, nothing too crazy. 1.9 Wraith. Picked up the clear body. Let the wife pick the color on this one. I was getting it all cut out, get the holes drilled and everything. I was like, well, what color should I paint it? She's like, well, blue, obviously. So started looking around, and I had a Tamiya sky blue. So I was like, I think this is gonna look pretty good. We hit it with the sky blue, and the color came out really good. In fact, it is almost a spot on match to her RAV4, which is the Toyota blue flame color. So that was pretty cool that it color wise very, very closely matched the RAV4. So super, super happy about that. Just did the top here in black, just because I know the way I drive, it can be on its roof quite a bit, so we just went with a nice black there. Ordering the clear body, comes with the interior, comes with the grill pieces and a few other things. The interior that comes with it is a nice, full 2D molded interior. I had from my man Theron for quite some time. He had printed these racing seats out for me. I just hadn't found a good place to necessarily put them. And I was sitting there, I was looking at them, and they were the same, almost the same blue, and I was like, I want to try something. So I cut the pre-molded seats out of the interior and placed these kind of about where I wanted them. And then I drilled at an angle through the plastic roll cage into the 3D printed seat. And then I just ran a bolt through to kind of secure the seats, and they just kind of levitate up there. And honestly, the cuts, not exactly the best, but from a distance and, picture purposes, I think it came out pretty good. So super, super happy with that. Then I did add some lights here, just some LEDs we had laying in the drawer. We have some just regular blue LEDs here, or white LEDs, and then red LEDs there for the center marker lights. Then right here in the rear, we have a 62 millimeter red LED bar for like a chase light, brake light. Wheels and tires here. Tires, we're using Proline Trenchers in G8. And for foams, we're running Voodoo Halo foams, white dot front and rear for this application, and my tires are vented. And for the wheels, we're using 1.9 wheels from Team KNK, actually. Got these in a trade from a local friend, Matt, here. He knew I fancy wheels and like orange wheels, so we had a trade going, and he offered those to me, and I had to do them. We did see me put those together on the live stream. Went together super, super awesome, high quality wheels as always. Always wanted to try a set of the Team KNK wheels, so kind of finally got to do it. And I really, really like them, and I think they fit really well overall. Exterior wise here, pop the hood. A few more things that we can see. Here we do have some Wraith adjustable shock mounts right here for the front, and back here in the rear. The front one for the 1.9 Wraith, you do have to do a little modification because the 1.9 Wraith has those hard plastic inner fenders there. So you do have to trim out a little bit there for these to go through. And I really was just kind of wanting to pick them up. These are just temporary, honestly, for future of the build. But I wanted to have that additional shock mounting if I needed it. And so far, I've been pretty good. And cool thing is, the way with the indentions in the hood, it does close over it without too much of a bulge or anything like that. So I didn't have to cut out the hood or anything like that. If it was a clear hood, that's fine, because then I can set the hood on, I can draw around and then cut it out. But since it's already painted, it's kind of a blind cut, and that's not exactly a skill set I have. Like I was saying, those are just kind of temporary, and I found them one day scrolling around on the interwebs. Hit me up on the live stream tonight. I will try to find out, remember where I got them from. It's running, I can take it out, have a great time. So at this point now, I can slowly piece together all of the BGR pieces for the Wraith, similar to all the pieces I have for the 2.2 Wraith. You know, bumpers, sliders, they have a fastback cage for it. They have rear shock towers and front shock towers for the 1.9 Wraith. So slowly, I'll just start acquiring those pieces a little bit here and there as I can, or if I see any good deals on used ones that go up. So electronic wise here, we are running a 3Brothers RC G11 servo here in the front. And for motor ESC, we're running a Castle Copperhead 10 ESC, and currently just a Castle 2250 kV motor. But again, if you're not busy, tune in tonight for the live stream. We'll be changing one of those things out. For transmission, simple for this build, it's just an Axial 3-gear transmission with a metal case and a Vanquish motor plate. I do like this because the 1.9 Wraith, because the faux engine here, it's kind of cool. It's just one of those extra little features. Now, one thing here on the 1.9 Wraith, I'm sure you've driven them and are familiar with them, it does have a pretty significant gap here in the battery tray location. Now, if you're running a full-size battery, that's not necessarily a problem, but if you run shorty packs a lot like I do, that's a pretty good gap that your battery could fall through. So I took a piece of plastic, cut it out to fit the bottom of the battery tray all the way across. So set that in there and drilled and bolted it down, and then put a battery strap around it so I can run a shorty pack without worry of it falling out. So for shocks, we're using modded Traxxas big bores with a no preload spring cup and a Lowe's Mini T-spring. And we're running the Traxxas 8361 pivot ball caps. Fit on the big bores, everything works good there. I really like the shocks, and as low as they are, it's able to, you know, get the truck down, have a nice low aggressive stance, and it really helps with the CG and all that good stuff. Like I mentioned earlier, links. You know, the stock 1.9 Wraith comes with plastic links, so that's something you probably change out at some point anyway. Plastic links are on borrowed time. So we have here high clearance links for the 1.9 Wraith from InTheWorks RC. Nice stainless steel links overall, high clearance, everything went together great. You have right here, we see this big metal brace here. That is a chassis brace from BPC Fabrications, and it has a metal panhard built onto it. So one more awesome strength piece. I don't have to worry about breaking the plastic panhard. That is steel, so it is not going anywhere. And it's just good to get that extra strength right there. So for axles, if you saw in the live streams and my couple initial first outings, I did initially build this build with AR45 straight axles, which again, solid, great axle. But I got the opportunity and working out a little bit of trading, I acquired some Vanquish F9 straight axles. I'm not one to turn down any Vanquish axle trades that come my way, so we picked them up, and I just knew they were going to fit this build very well, just overall, just the purposes of it and the future plans to have those F9s under it. Again, super strong, beautiful axle. Everything works great there. Overall, again, nothing too crazy. Just a 1.9 Wraith, and it's just something that I've wanted to build for a while or get one, so we just did it. Nothing too crazy, and plus, gives me another rig to the fleet to drive during wintertime because, like I mentioned before, my comp rigs generally don't come out much during wintertime unless I'm specifically testing or tuning to new parts and upgrades, and those will be on, you know, the spread out nicer weekends and stuff like that. In the meantime, that's basically going to wrap this video up. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel down below if you haven't already, and more to come soon. We'll go over stuff as we upgrade this and some more running videos. In the meantime, as always, I hope everyone has a great one. You know, get some builds going and stuff like that. Want to take a break from family, shopping, stuff like that, 7 o'clock Central Time, come on over, hang out. We'll get a live stream going for a little bit. We have lots to do on there. So in the meantime, everyone have a great one and crawl on.